Hey, I'm CAITLYN from SpinJoy Hoop Dance, and this tutorial is going to cover how to hula hoop on your legs. I'm going to talk about how to get it there, how to keep it there, some tips from getting it from your knees back up to your waist, and also some specifics on the hula hoop to use and things that you can do to your hula hoop to make it easier to keep it going. So, first thing we want to do is try to get the hula hoop to stay above our knees. When we're talking about leg hooping or knee hooping, we're talking about keeping the hoop on this space that's slightly above your knees. If you're holding it right behind your kneecap, it's going to start to hurt pretty quickly, so we want to try to avoid it dropping down that low. The action for hula hooping on your knees is a forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. So if I turn to the side, my knees are going forward, back really fast. Actions that we want to avoid with our knees are rolling through here, popping with one leg, or doing, I don't know, other kinds of weird stuff, keeping your legs separated, that also doesn't work. So if we have our feet together, our knees together, our thighs touching, it's going to be a lot more of a successful jam. So we're holding the hoop above our waist, above our hips. We want to try and keep it going here first with a good amount of speed. We don't want to let it start to slow down too much. If it starts to get the death wobble on it, as it goes down, it's going to drop straight below your knees, straight from your hips, probably to the floor. So maintaining a good speed from your waist all the way down to the knees is crucial. I'm starting here, and the action from my waist is a circle motion. As I bring it down to my hips, I'm continuing with that circle motion. Now, when it goes down to my thighs, my legs need to come together and my feet need to come together, and I'm going to roll it down, circling, circling until it gets where I want it, forward, back, forward, back. Now, the forward and back action is coming from my ankles and my knees. So, if I take away the hoop, it looks like this is a very exaggerated version of what I'm doing here, not a bob from our hips and our knees like this. This action here, can you see how that's creating an angle in my thighs? That angle is going to instantly push the hoop to the ground. Let me demonstrate. Forward and back with a nice straight line, angle. Instantly pushing the hoop to the ground. You can also demonstrate this by holding the hoop on your waist. If I have my back nice and straight, the hoop is going. If I start to lean forward, I instantly push it below my knees. So we need to keep a nice straight line here with our legs. Action, all the weight is in the balls of my feet and my heels are able to lift off the ground. Forward, back. Think of it like you're a mermaid, or you're pushing your knees forward and back, pop, 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 pop. Okay? So that's the action. Now, the problem is we're usually losing the momentum of our hoop when we go from our hips, we bring them together, and then we're going forward, back, and the hoop's going to drop. This is because the action from our hips, we've got a rolling happening here. The action from our knees is a forward and back hinging action. And then all of this space in the middle, it's kind of like a dead zone for leg hooping. This is where most people lose the hoop when they're trying to get it down there, because this middle space is conflicted between whether it does the rolling or the popping. So we need to do a little bit of a rotation through our whole thighs as we control it down to our knees. So it looks like this. Get it spinning nice and fast. Bring it down to your hips, legs together, feet together, and then roll through the whole thigh, and then forward and back. When it gets just above your knees, you're holding it here. Does that make sense? I think it does. Okay, so I'll demonstrate it one more time. Here on my waist, I'm rolling, circling, bring it down to my hips, I'm still circling, bring my thighs, feet, and legs straight together, nice and straight. Everything is straight, my back is straight, I'm not leaning forward to look at the hoop. As it's rolling down, I'm rolling through my whole leg, circling through my feet, and then forward, back with the knees. Okay, so that is how to hold it there. Some of the things that sometimes go wrong here, aside from the bending of the knees or making that angle with the thighs, is that you want to look at the hoop, which again is kind of encouraging you to bend forward. If you do need to look at the hoop, if you want to look down at it, you got to tilt your whole head and look straight down. You're not allowed to lean forward. Or if you do actually want to lean, you've got to hinge from the hips, but you got to keep this part really straight, okay? Now, the Next thing that usually goes wrong here is that you're missing the connection of the timing with pushing with your knees and the hoop going around. Usually this translates into you not pushing fast enough. So if you are learning, try and just do it really fast. Better to go fast than too slow because we don't want the hoop to lose its momentum. Now, we want to try and get the hoop from our knees straight back up to our waist. So there's two main ways that I like to teach for this. There's plenty of different versions, like different tricks that you can do to get it back up to your waist, but the two easiest ones are, the easiest one first actually, is the stomp and turn. So, my hula hoop is going to the left. So I'm going to stomp with my right leg and I'm going to turn to the left. If you hoop the other way, you do the opposite. So I'm turning the same direction that my hoop is spinning. For me, the left, I'm going to stomp my right leg. Now, when I stomp, my thighs and my knees are still pressed together like I need to pee, okay? So it's going to be stomp, stomp, stomp. And you're going to have a tantrum, so you're going to really stomp the ground like that. So you're like a toddler that's having a tantrum, keeping everything nice and tight, stomp, stomp, stomp. Legs are crossed over like you need to go to the toilet, all right? So if you separate your legs, you're going to push the hoop away, it's going to fall to the ground. So again, it's going on my knees, forward, back, everything is pressed together, I'm nice and tall, my right leg, stomp, 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 and it comes up to my waist. So what's happening here is, as the hoop is traveling around, it's touching my right thigh, I'm stomping, and it's hitching the hoop up a level, and then it lands on my waist. If you add a turn to this, same direction that the hoop is going, it will make it easier. So I will demonstrate. Hoop's going to the left, I'm stomping with my right leg, stomp and turn like a tantrum, stomp, 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 and it comes up like that, okay? So now it's on my waist, I'm gonna let it go back down one more time. Forward, back, start turning, stomp, 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 and it's up. Now, I think that that's the easiest way to get the hula hoop back up to your waist. The more advanced version, which takes a little bit more practice and a little bit more body control, is the reverse of the hoop going down. So here, I'm holding my hoop on my waist. This is the isolated movement here on my waist, circling. Then I isolate the movement to my hips, just my hips moving. Then my butt, mid-thigh, then knees, forward and back. Now to get it back up, we do the exact reverse of that. So my knees are moving, I want it to move up to my mid-thigh, so I start rolling through my mid-thigh, then my hips, then my waist, okay? So it's controlling and isolating those different parts of the body to get it to coil back up. I'll do that again from this side. Waist, hips, mid-thigh, knees, and then the reverse back up, knees, mid-thigh, hips, and waist. Okay, I'll do it one more time. From this angle. Okay, so that's coiling the hoop all the way from your waist to your knees. It's quite an advanced trick, so it takes a little bit of practice. Even just trying to get it from your waist to your hips, and then back up to start is a really good place to start practicing that isolated movement. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do to your hula hoop to make this easier. First thing, and probably most important thing, is adding grip tape to the inside of it. Now, it's not so obvious with this hoop here. This hula hoop, a little bit more obvious. It's got really fluorescent, attractive green grip tape on the inside. So this tape here is going to help the hoop stick to your legs. I'm wearing leggings right now, and if I didn't have grip tape on my hoop, the hoop would slide straight to the ground. So adding a layer of grip on the inner circumference of your hoop is going to make leg hooping 1,000 times easier. If you can, if you're really struggling to get the hoop going on your legs and you don't have grip tape, this is probably the #1 reason it's falling down. Another thing you can do is try to learn this trick without any pants on. You can wear like tiny pants, that's okay, but wearing leggings, lycra, anything that's slippery is going to make it really difficult. So try and do it in shorts or booty shorts. No shorts, I don't mind, okay? And another thing that you can add to the inside of your hoop is grip wax. So grip wax is like similar to surfboard wax. You would sandpaper the inside of a naked hoop. So you can't use grip wax on taped hoops, but if you've got a naked hoop, sandpaper gently the inside of the hoop, rub some wax on it, and it'll help it stick to your anything. Grip wax does rub off over time. You have to keep reapplying it, but it's really good. It doesn't rub off on your clothing. It's an awesome product. Yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to with leg hooping. Last thing is, actually, if you're hooping on your legs and you're finding that the hoop is dropping below your knees, down below your knees is pretty much a dead zone. You don't have too much control down there. So we want to try and keep it above the knees. If you are losing it, like which you're going to at the start while you're learning, we can practice a couple of techniques like hitching it back up with your feet. So let me demonstrate. Falls below my knees. I do a little stomp to try to get it back up. Okay, so it's falling. I'll do that again. I'm gonna do a hitch with my right knee because I'm hooping to the left, hitch it back up, get it above the knees. Another one we can do is a step out. So if it's falling down, you step out and take it off your body. I need to go into that in more detail in a later tutorial, but those are just some options to keep practicing so you're not just falling down and taking it straight back up. Working on trying to kick it back up if you can to keep the flow going. I hope that was helpful. If you need any more assistance or there's something that I've missed, please send me a message. Yeah, and happy hooping. Have fun. You just